Hi, it's me again. As I promised, I am recording the week number 2, class number 2. The idea is that you can keep this information, this YouTube video, as part of your educational material, so you are able to review this information as you need it. So I promise that, and I'm doing my best to create this content for you guys to use into the next 2 or 3 weeks. So the topic today is the Scrum. This is the class that I'm doing right now. The Scrum Timeline. And I realized that in the previous one, I just covered these two. The Scrum framework, it's done in one video, right? It's a summary video. Oops, that's weird, video. It's one video. So this one, it's the one that I'm doing right now, Scrum Timeline, which is the week number 3, class 1. So what is the agenda for this class? Is the pre-sprint activities, activities during the sprint duration considerations, sprint planning, daily Scrum, sprint review, and sprint retrospective. So before we start the first sprint, remember the sprint is a short cycle to deliver value with a duration, the 2 to 4 weeks duration. Right, because in Scrum, we are adding incremental value. Another name for the sprint, it's a iteration. So before we get started with my project, we need to have ready the vision statement, the product roadmap, the user stories, and the product backlog. So the vision statement is the strategy for the company, concise description of the goal of the project. The product roadmap, it's like a calendar. It's a visual calendar of a major product features to be delivered. And it's normally created by the product owner. It's like the calendar. Let's put another word here. In other words, it's the calendar. Like an estimated calendar. Because remember that when we start executing the tasks and the user stories, we will be able to define the team velocity. And by that time, eventually, we will know how many story points we will be able to execute or complete on each sprint. So the stories are the requirements in a beautiful language. Those are requirements normally written by the product owner and come from the customer requirements. The product backlog, it's all the stories, is the prioritized and organized list of stories or requirements. This is the product backlog. So we have 4 elements here before we get started the project. We need the vision statement, the product roadmap, stories, and the product backlog, okay? So the sprint planning meetings plan what will go into the sprint. The product owner prioritizes requirements, and the team make a decision what to include into the sprint backlog. Remember, the product backlog is the universe, product backlog, right? And the sprint backlog is a subset. It's a subset that we take from here and we put it here. This is the sprint backlog. So the stories make up the sprint backlog. The team break down stories into tasks, more small portions. How can you eat an elephant? It's just cut it into pieces so you can eat little by little. That's the way that you have to you need to break down the stories or the requirements. team takes 2 to 4 weeks to deliver an agreed amount of stories. 2 to 4 weeks is the duration of a sprint or iteration. Sprint review. In the sprint review, the team demonstrate the completed stories to customer in a sprint demo. So what does that say? Is the revision of the increment or the portion that we created in the sprint. Oh, I forgot to mention the daily Scrum is a 50 minutes daily meeting for the team to track the progress of the project and identify any impediments or blockers. So the sprint retrospective, it's when we review the sprint in order to look out for things to improve or lessons learned. The Scrum Master makes sure the Scrum process is followed entirely and offers coaching. That is some of the sprint activities. Sprint duration considerations. Risk of being disconnected from stakeholders. We cannot make the sprint too long because we take the risk of disconnection from the stakeholders. That is a traditional project management when the meetings were conducted every 3 months at the end of the quarter. It was bad. It was horrible. It was awful because we didn't have the time to demonstrate and speak and communicate with the stakeholders so we can receive the feedback. And we are not able to do any improvements. So that was killing us. That's why the manifesto was created. So the ability to go to market with the product release. Okay, something that is very important is that we need to have those meetings very frequently because we need to launch the solution because we need to make money. That's why the businesses need agility because we need to release the solution as soon as possible. So if we are doing a huge and complex solution, we can just launch like the version number 1 of the application, right? Of this solution. So we can start making money as soon as possible. So frequency, the team decomposition can be changed. Okay, we cannot make the sprint too long because it will be more difficult to make any changes. So that's why it's 2 to 4 weeks. Those are general rules. Another rule, all sprints should be of the same duration. That is very important. 2 to 4 weeks. This is the range. And there's no sprint zero. What is a sprint zero? That was another school, Agile school, that they used to say that we need like a preparation sprint. But we said that in the previous classes that we need the vision, the product backlog, and the stories. You remember that? So yes, but not sprint zero. Scrum ceremonies, a sprint is the cycle of the delivering value, 2 to 4 weeks duration. Sprint planning is selecting items, selecting sprint items. Daily Scrum is a 50 minutes meeting every day. Sprint review is the demo with the stakeholders and customers. And retrospective, it's to improve. So now we have a general idea of each one of the Scrum ceremonies. So remember, we're going to have another topic where we will be talking about more deeply about those ceremonies. This is just an overview. So the sprint planning meeting is a time box, meaning that this is a specific duration. It's fixed. 8 hours for a 4-week sprint, the sprint plan. It could be less for shorter sprints, but the rule is 8 hours. So keep that in mind, 8 hours duration. Who's supposed to attend to the sprint planning meeting? Yay, thank you for asking. I'm listening, Jessica, I'm listening, Cindy. Complete Scrum team, including all roles. What are the roles? Scrum Master, product owner, and development team. What is the goal? Okay, it's establish the team capacity, the sprint goal, the definition of done, and sprint backlog. Oh, I love that. This is really good summary for sprint planning meeting. I love it. Daily Scrum, 50 minutes. Attendees, the Scrum team. Goal is just to understand progress and identify blockers and impediments. Sprint review, 4 hours. Who's gonna attend? The team and also the stakeholders. That is an additional group. Additional group. Key stakeholders. What is the goal of the sprint review? It's demonstrate the work that we just done at the end of this beautiful sprint. You see, it's showing the done work. Scrum team is showing to the stakeholders. And they are supposed to provide the feedback. Yay, sprint retrospective meeting. So the sprint retrospective, it's at 3 hours for a 4-week sprint. Who's gonna attend? Everybody, all roles. They said sometimes that the product owner is optional. No, I'm not agree. That is a scrum.org. They said it's optional, but my recommendation is that everybody attend this meeting. What is the goal of the sprint retrospective meeting? Is to brainstorm and agree on what is working good and what is not working good. It's just to improve. Kaizen, improve. Kaizen, it's a Japanese word, meaning change for better. Always there is a room to improve. Kaizen. Key takeaways. The pre-sprint activities that I mentioned at the beginning of this chapter. We need the vision, product roadmap, which is the calendar, user stories, and product backlog. We mentioned that in the introduction of this chapter. Each Scrum ceremony has time box duration, 8 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours, 15 minutes. 8 hours is sprint planning, 4 hours the demo, 3 hours the retrospective, at 15 minutes is the daily Scrum. So the 5 Scrum ceremonies are sprint, sprint planning, daily Scrum, sprint review, and retrospective. We finished less than 30 minutes. Yeah. This is the week number 3 topic. Thank you so much for watching this video. And remember, I'll see you in the next time at the same time, next time at this time, and using the same channel. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Goodbye.